What's up everyone and welcome. In this episode we're going to discuss the revelation that NSO Group is not the only company that has a Pegasus type software that can install surveillance software on your phone. A new company called QuaDream was uncovered that can perform the exact same attacks. Let's see what else we can learn to protect ourselves and others from this story.
Oh, drat these computers. They're so naughty and so complex. I could pinch them.
ForcedEntry, the exploit of a zero-click iMessage 0-day that circumvented Apple's then brand new BlastDoor security feature starting a year ago, was picked apart not just by NSO Group with its Pegasus spyware, but also by a newly uncovered, smaller smartphone hacking toolmaker named QuaDream. Three people familiar with the matter told Reuters that QuaDream and NSO Group have shared employees over the years. That means employees that worked for NSO also worked for QuaDream and vice versa. Two sources also said that QuaDream and NSO Group came up with the iPhone exploit techniques on their own separately as opposed to collaborating. In September, Citizen Lab published details about having captured NSO Group's ForcedEntry exploit in the wild, though its security researchers believe that it was first used in February 2021. Apple had just introduced BlastDoor, a structural improvement in iOS 14 meant to block message-based zero-click exploits a month prior to when NSO Group is believed to have started using it. Hey guys, thanks again for watching my episode about the weaponization of the iPhone bug and this new company QuaDream that can do exactly the same thing that NSO can do. I appreciate your support. If you haven't already, subscribe to my channel and smash the bell to be notified when I upload new episodes where I give you insights into the newest important cybersecurity news stories like this one. With my insights, you can be better prepared to protect your company, your family, and yourself against these and other cyber attacks. So hit the subscribe button now and let's continue to learn about this story together. According to all the fanfare and public information from Apple, their BlastDoor was supposed to prevent this type of attack by acting as what Google Project Zero's Samuel Gross called it, at the time, a tightly sandboxed service responsible for almost all of the parsing of untrusted data in iMessages. The ForcedEntry exploit managed to circumvent BlastDoor by targeting Apple's image rendering library, a sophisticated attack that was effective against Apple iOS, macOS, and watchOS devices. In 2016, or its 2016 founding, means that QuaDream has spent more than 5 years hacking iPhones and other iGadgets, prying them open so as to monitor calls and get access to users, microphones, and cameras in real time. This type of powerful spyware gives its users access to their target's email, photos, text contacts, and instant messages, even in spite of what should be the end-to-end encryption promises by services such as WhatsApp, Telegram, or Signal. Citizen Lab security researcher Bill Marzak, who's been studying both companies' tools, told Reuters that the zero-click capability of QuaDream's flagship product called Rain seems on par with NSO's Pegasus spyware. Now, NSO is a multi-billion-dollar corporation, and QuaDream is apparently this smaller smartphone hacking tool company creator, but their software, Rain versus Pegasus, has the same capabilities, same sophistication, and both companies had at times the same employees. Maybe not at the same time, but one after the other. So employees who worked for both companies building their software. On Monday, he pointed to Project Zero's very thorough analysis of ForcedEntry as having demonstrated the level of engineering talent available to companies like NSO Group and others in the mercenary spyware marketplace. That spyware can be engineered with such sophistication and stealth and then abused widely to target broad cross-sections of civil society, and that should give everyone serious pause, he told ThreatPost via email. CEOs of government ministries, journalists, tycoons, corporate executives, mayors, social activists, and even prime ministers' relatives all were police targets, having their phones hacked by NSO spyware, and that's prior to any investigation, even opening, and without any judicial authorization. So, what can we learn? Well, months and months ago, when Apple head of security said something to the tune of, this is such a niche and an expensive hack that nobody else can afford to do it. That's why it's not a big deal. Now, I called bull then, and I still call bull. We could see through the last 5 years of history that once a technique is done, people rush to reverse engineer it. It's the same thing that I personally worked on in the mid-2000s when companies were crying and trying to stop reverse engineering of their software, their apps, and games using software like Delphi or Flash games. You remember reverse engineering Flash games? Well, I do. The point is, once one company can do it, it is just a matter of time before it becomes a commodity to be used by anyone with a computer, even a 16-year-old pimpled kid in his mom's basement. Now, I'd bet dollars to donuts that there are even more companies out there providing this kind of service. They just haven't been discovered yet. So what can you do? Well, I am a proponent of turning off your devices, or at least putting it in airplane mode, for example, when you sleep. I'm also a proponent of having your internet off at night. If they cannot find you, then they cannot hack you. Now, the CISA and NSA recommended in recent past restarting your phone regularly so that it can dump any infections that may be sitting in RAM that cannot be stored to the long-term storage of whatever your phone maker is and whatever capabilities are. That is one way also to continue to help keep you safe. The idea is most malware on a phone cannot be stored or saved into long-term storage because oftentimes there is no long-term storage. So rebooting your phone basically dumps that infection. Additionally, you should only allow apps in general to track you or get your location or send you notifications and that kind of thing when you're using the app. You always get those little questions. You want to let this, you'll get this data all the time or just now, because technically those apps are also surveilling you, tracking you, finding out what your location is and sending it back home. And that information can be used by any type of organization, including law enforcement. With that, I say thanks again for watching. Don't forget to share and subscribe if you haven't already, and smash the bell if you haven't already. And I'll see you on the next episode. Take care.